I have opened right now a complete fresh trial version, as you see here. Nothing special. It's all the trial version was coming up, and I already logged in as an admin user right now. And first of all, I want to show you what modules we have in the GreatWorkFlow. And when you look up here, you see as an administrator, you get everything. You can up and do some projects as well as inventory management, as well as the sales orders or opportunities or whatever. And what we have right now, we have here some workspaces where you can have some pre-built modules are in your menu maybe for the sales, for accounting, for marketing. And right now, when I change here in the workspace marketing, you only have these modules regarding these topic marketing or the sales. Here you have opportunities, quotes, and so on. But you can adjust it complete in the global settings, what you want to have as a workspace, or even you can create a new one or restrict it only to one, whatever. You can change nearly everything in this CRM or xRM.
That's great.
And when we go for, and right now it will restrict it here to the sales. And when you look at the top bar right now, we have here some quick create action buttons, like you want to have simple new business card, want to type in the most important fields and leads or something, then you have this quick create icons here, and you can even assign or even attempt or doing all these changes what you want to have as fields here in the lead mask. And you can adjust nearly everything on this case. And you can have an opportunity or a calendar entry. Here in the search field, you can have and can do a full text search over all modules. And if you want to, you can adjust it and want to restrict it to maybe only some certain modules. When you search, you want to search mostly in contacts, leads, or accounts, maybe in partners. And when you apply it and you do the search, then you only have these modules in the search, what you restricted before, and it stays here if you change. So the user has this restriction if he changes the next one and unselect all, and then he have a full text search over all modules. Okay. Here, when we go for this one, we have an activity overview, the last few entries, or maybe some messages, what's coming up from the system. And here we have a help section where you can go and show for something what you want to have. Maybe you want to know something more in detail about the homepage, then you can go in the help section and search for your wished topic, what you want to have. When we go on the homepage right now, you can add some new tabs. You can even add some fields. Maybe I will have a closer look or a quick look at the widgets, what we already have built in this demo, where here you see some heat map of your leads, accounts, or partners. Maybe you want to have some charts. You can not only use some pre-built charts, you can do your own charts and configure your own charts if you want to. And when we go for sales, maybe you have this classical sales funnel, you have maybe a gauge chart, you can have some list views that are restricted to some filters, what you want to have, only the hot leads or the top accounts. Here you can change nearly everything, and you see the different charts, what we have. Maybe you want to have a Twitter feed that can integrate, or you even have something for the support section for the services, or the social media. What we have already built in right now is we have connectors for Twitter, for Facebook, for Google+, for LinkedIn, and for the European countries, Xing as well.
That's fantastic. Those integrations are definitely important, gathering intel on your subject, your lead.
Especially the a LinkedIn connector and the Twitter connector. I think that's very, very useful for all these business purposes, what you want to do. And when we go a little bit more in detail, I want to show you how I demo a sales process. Okay? And first, we start with the leads. And when you have a look at the first few, what you have when you go in the module, that's the same as partners or contacts or accounts or opportunities. You always open first the list view. And the list view have some functionalities I want to show you. And you can have some pre-built filters. Maybe you want to have only leads for a certain industry or leads from a certain area or something. Then you can build your own list view. I want to show you later. What we have right now in the list view, and the user can change and adjust something. Maybe you want to have a different sorting or a different show of the columns, and then you can change it with drag and drop and arrange it a little bit different. And very important for the usability is, you see here on the cursor appears a pencil, and when it happens, then you can go with a double click and directly add it here in the list view.
That's something new. I haven't seen that in some CRMs. You would have to actually go into the lead and change it, but that's great that you could just click it and go.
Yes, and that's very, very useful in this case. And the next one, when we go, maybe we want to have these hot leads or something, then what we have also built in is that you can have a different view. Maybe you want to have a graphical charts combined with this list view. Right now, I only have all these hot leads. And here I do the graphical analysis, and what you see right now, it's combined. So if you want to have only the hot leads, then you can click here in the chart and this value, and then the list view is changing only to values with the lead status hot. Okay? So you can configure by your own. And if you want to, you can have and do your own list view. Maybe right now we're doing something like test view for. The pinging is on your side or on Mo's side?
What is that? I'm sorry.
We always
Mo's side.
Oh, it's for me. For me, I'm sorry. Somebody's pinging me, so I'm just talking to them.
Maybe.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna.
So I go further. In this case, Mo is a better idea for having the mute the mic. And in this case, I do a test view for demo. It's a special list view I want to have. I choose the columns I want to see in the list view. I want to have maybe a partner, and in the next column I want to have some lead source. And maybe we go for address information as well. We're doing some billing postal code, and I want to have the city. I can do it a little bit faster with doing the search. So right now it's the setup for the columns, and then I can go for the filters, maybe for the time filters. I only want to show in the list view all the leads that are created in a special time area, maybe the last 90 days, last 60 days, last 30 days, or whatever, current month, next month, last month, whatever. And or doing custom, and you can change it by your own. And in the advanced filter, you can have some new rules for filtering. Maybe I only want to show with a certain list view, a certain lead source, sorry. And in this case, here I can, is one of, is none of, and maybe I choose only the cold calls and from Twitter maybe, or self-generated. And I can combine it and or filter, and maybe from a certain area. In this case, I choose building postal code, maybe. In this case, you see, if I choose a different field, I get the right operator. Right now, I get this operators is not, begins with, ends with, contains, and other things. And maybe in this case, postal code is a good idea for begins with, and we have this one and this, or have a different Okay, so in this case, you can combine it. You can have brackets, so you can have and build your own regular expressions. You can do nearly everything with this sorting and with this rules what you want to have. Maybe I want to change here in none and only want to lead source. I can group these list view, the first 3 columns, or I can even go and do a preview of the detailed information as well. So a lot of functionality is what you can have, and in this case, I save it. And I only have this list, these leads that coming with this special lead source cold caller self-generated. And maybe we go for the next one, and I want to show you a different thing. And I show you a sales process. I'll go in a lead, and when you have here a lead, you see all these fields coming up. We have here the lead information. The most important things are already there. You have all the things about email address, telephone. We can even right now, I tell you that we are finishing the Twilio connector till end of this week. So you can have it and click on here and then open the Twilio. And you can send an email, or here you can have and see where it's located. We have a Google Maps integration in this case, and go for here. You see all these stages, the lead stages, what you can have, and for qualifying, and you can completely define it. Right now we have an predefined, but you can nearly everything changing. You can changing the action as well. And maybe for this one, you're talking with the guys, you want to have a new event, a new to-do or something, and you see all these information, what happened with the leads in the more information tab, and here you see all the emails you get, all the activities was made. Maybe he's in here right now, we see that it's coming from a webinar, he is a participant in the campaigns, and here you can all the information what happened with the leads. And maybe you talk to this guy and sending some information and so on. And on a certain stage, you say, right now, this is more important. Here, they maybe want to have a contract proposal, or you have you want to have a quote for a special service or something. Then you go for the qualifying. Here you can have your stages, and maybe it's qualified. And in this case, normally, this lead will be converted into something different. And here you can have these actions called convert lead. And if we convert the lead, then will automatically done out of the information from the company, will create an account. Of the personal information will be created in contact. And what you can also do, you don't have, but you can do right now in this converting visit, you can have and create an opportunity. Maybe for a proposal of service. So in this case, I want to have a close date. I want to estimate as a sales guy. In this case, I want to close the deal in the end of November. And here I know what I have in mind, what I get out of this deal. Maybe 20,000 bucks. And all these sales stages here you can predefine in your way. Right now I use the predefined stuff. Here I use the proposal, price quote maybe. You can have an add manually an event, or you can have a workflow who doing the events automatically after special conditions maybe. You can have a to-do, a note, what you have to go for when you do this proposal or the price quote. And when you save it, then the lead will be deleted, existing on ALR. It will be converted into this account. And what you see right now, we jump right now automatically to the accounts after this lead conversion process. And you see here we have 3 tabs. We have a module dashboard on the account side right now, this model dashboard is predefined here for the demo. And you can have some parts where you can show off. Here you see a timeline. Maybe you want to have a timeline that's chronicle. For this one, here was the first call, then I send an email, then comes an event for a meeting, then I send the proposal price quote, and here we have the opportunity. And all the things you see here in a timeline where you can go and show exactly what happens after one another. You can have some detailed information of this account information. You have maybe activity history, what happens here in this case. What you also can see here is that you have some pre-built charts on the module dashboard, what you can have. You see here, this one, I think I have forgotten to type in the API of Google right now. You need an API for this one. And an internal stream where something is in, like maybe for all the things was changed. Right now it's a new data, so nothing is changed right now. In the account information, you see all this detailed information as you have before seen in the lead. Everything what the information goes from the lead and goes into the account as well. And here in the more information, we see everything what happens. It will be right now it's added and created an account. The contact, it's already there, is also created and referenced to this account. And we have done this opportunity. And here in the opportunity, we can go in and maybe we want to add some probability as well. I think we got some probability of 70%. And to close the deal, I will maybe type in the next steps, what I have in mind for doing the next steps. Next steps here was to create a price proposal or something else to send him. And what you also can do is you have here a functionality for adding a forecast. Maybe when you do an offer your services, you offer not only one line item in your proposal price quote, you offer maybe two or three different variations of your services. And in this case, you can add forecasts on service or product level as well. Maybe in this case, thinking about some customer who's selling products or services, doesn't matter. In this case, I use the product because I have some pre-built products here. But you can do the same with services as well. And in this case, right now he talks with the guy and he wants to have maybe some of my products here in these. Sorry, I see some chat here. You have mute yourself, okay, but there's no problem. You can add and demute, and then can you ask me something?
Of course. I know Martin.
Okay, so in this case, I go for a product. Maybe I have to. I have to cancel and want to do it again. So I add forecast and I add a product. And in this case, maybe you want to have some iPhone 5S. And the customer tell me he want to have a second item, like the iPhone 6 maybe. And in this case, I talked with the customer or with the potential customer, and he said to me, I need for the proposal, I need the 5S, but the most probability is on the iPhone 6 that this will be ordered. So in this case, as a sales guy, I can forecast only this line item. And in this line item, maybe you can have a different probability for 80% maybe. And when you do out of this some of the reports, that's much more precise and much more in reality as you do a report out of your quotes or price proposal. Because in this case, you have all these line items that are only for alternative as well. And in this case, this one is much more precise. And when you go and save it, then you have this opportunity And the opportunity you can go for and doing your sales stages, work on, do some meetings on this, you can have and do some discussions and all the things you see here in the more information as well. What happened with this opportunity, what activities, what happened, and so on. And maybe you go to this thing that the customer will call you and said, yeah, right now I want to have these products. In this case, the deal is closed. And what you can do is maybe before we have the before we close the deal, I was a little bit too fast. In this case, the customer or the potential customer doesn't get any proposal right now. But what you set up here, you set up everything and information that you need for the proposal as well. So why you cannot use it? In this case, you go here and create a quote out of this opportunity. So what happened? You only have to go for a subject, quote for iPhones maybe. Everything what you type in these things about the opportunity you have already here, you can have some discount on, you can have and use some price books as different ones. You can have different title and description to your product title and description. You can have add a page break because a lot of description is already in. You can have even doing some of these things after this product line item and so on. Everything what you need for the quote. And when you save it, you have the quote already set up and you can send it immediately to the customer. Do an export to PDF maybe. And in this case, it will automatically done and have the quote for the customer. And if you want to change something before you send it, then you can open as an overwritable template as well. And then you can change everything before you generate a PDF.
Wow, you really made making template changes very simple, and I'm sure a lot of users who watch this video are going to appreciate that.
Yes, and that's very important. You know, you have to do some minor changes, but for the some minor changes, you don't want to even edit the complete template. You only want to adjust something, or you want to have a special greeting, or you want to change only the salutation or whatever. So in this case, you can do it.
You know, legal disclaimers. You know, you never know. Legal disclaimers are different for each product. You know.
Yes.
It could be the illegality thing too. So this is great. That's great. That's one of my favorite features so far.
Yeah. And in this case, you can send it out of the email as PDF with the attachment. So you can even doing everything out of it. Maybe we do this one. And then you can use your email templates as well that you have pre-configured for sending out proposals and all these things. So it's very easy and very, very fast for doing the whole sales process. And when we go for the PDF templates, then you have the PDF templates not only for quotes, you can use it for everything. When we go for, and I will show you, so in this case, you see right now, it's complete HTML. You cannot do only configure stuff, you can do it complete free. And if you want to have maybe your own fields in your blog, you can use it here in the PDF as well. So when you go here and want to have some placeholder here on this position, then you go search for your things. Maybe you want to have a contact name or carrier or shipping date or something else. Then insert into template, and where the cursor was, the last one you see here, insert the placeholder. And it will be replaced with a certain value out of the database. And what you can do is you can have different labels. You can have different company user products, blog settings, complete different. A4, A3, A5, what you want to have, categorization, product headlines, page breaks, header without footer, with logo, without logo, different footers. You can have even table of contents or a cover that is completely different as the other pages. So, and you can do it for every module in the CRM. So you can even do your contracts. You can even have a lot of templates for this thing. And what we have built in, we have approval center in the CRM where you can have some rules if some of these templates or some of the email templates are available only for certain rules. So in this case, you can have an approval stuff that is maybe it's great. The size of the quote is a little bit too big, so it's have to be approved before, and then it can goes out to the customer. You can set up such a process as well. That's
a
the thing about the
fantastic
quotes.
way of being able to edit the, like how you broke up the tab section for editing. That's great. I really like that. It's different. It's a different design feature than what I've seen in other CRMs.
Yeah, it's for us very important that it's always have a bit clear. Right now, I have my resolution of my laptop is very. I want to have nearly everything very big. It's not the normal resolution size right now, but you can imagine that it's nearly the same on an iPad or a tablet as well, because it's complete.
Yeah.
They have the complete functionality on a tablet in the browser. And when you go for a quote right now, quote for your iPhones or something, then you can go and the next steps will be to generate a sales order out of it, if it's accepted. Or even you can go for generate an invoice, but as we talked last time for this one, is normally that we go for an integration to QuickBooks or something else.
Now, what would be the difference between a customer generating an invoice or generating a sales order? You know, if somebody's selling a service, which one would they most likely use? You know, I'm sure they're asking themselves that question right now. Like, should I use a sales order for my service that I sold, or should I generate an invoice because they're going to pay later, or because they want to see an invoice?
Yeah, it's depending on the process what you already have right now on the customer side. I know normally when you go out and you will be correct on your business process, then you have to go for a generate a sales order and send the confirmation that you will accept their order with the signing of the quote. But a lot of the customer only, especially in the SMBs, only doing and take the signed quote and the next thing is they sending out the invoice. But
Gotcha.
in this case, it's not restricted. You can do both. So if you are very restricted and you want to use the sales order, or maybe you have some already you have customers for years and they call you and only sending you the sales order. In this case, it's also happened, so you don't need for going for a quote maybe for a good customer what you have for a long of years. And in this case, it's enough for only sending the sales order. And what we also have done is we have some connectors built right now for a German open source e-commerce solution. So you can have nearly, or doing the online shop, will automatically get and import via the REST API the sales orders in your CRM. And that's very easy to change for maybe a Magento or something else. Huh? So you can even connect to an e-commerce platform or something else and have all the sales orders out of your e-commerce platform as well in your CRM. Do you have some questions so far?
Not so far. I mean, you've covered a lot. I'm interested in seeing managing user permissions for other people in my organization. If you could show our prospective clients, how we could, change, roles of users, how to add a new user, how to, yeah, exactly. This is what I want them to see, so that they can understand that there are different levels of the organization, that only certain people can see certain things, or vice versa. So
Yeah,
I think a little bit of a
yeah,
discussion on that
I
would be
think
great.
that's nearly it's nearly the same in the most of the CRMs, that you have a very a deep access and right management, because it's very important to have an own access right management for your CRM. Um, and the most of the CRMs have a very restrictive one, and you can do nearly everything. And in this case here, in the Great Workflow is the same. You can have and use it very open, or you can go for and doing complete restrictive and want to have it complete different. You can go for the profiles maybe, and you want to have it for the sales profile in a different way. And in this case, you see, you can have these things. You can complete deactivate the complete module, or you can go for and restrict it on the fields as well, or on the tools as well. I think import or export of something is always a matter of not all of the users have the possibility to do an export. Yeah? So you can have and can do nearly everything in this case, and you can restrict it in on every field or on module on the module hierarchy as well. So you can go and you see it here; it's complete for every module. You can have groups, you can have other things, you can have sharing access where you're doing certain special rules, and you can. I with this access rider management, we have done everything covered what happens outside. Maybe I want to show you how you can easily create new feeds. Maybe you want to have some changes and you want to have a change on the leads maybe. And when you go to this layout data, then you can go for, and you have here you see the pre-built default fields were coming up with the leads. You see it here, the billing address and all the things. And first of all, you can reassign it. I want to have it different, only with drag and drop. Okay, that's very, very easy. And then the next thing is you can even adjust or do a new one. You can have and complete do a new block, or you want to have in a certain block a different feed. And in this case, maybe you want to have some basic information like in the text field, or you want to have a number, percent, currency, date, email, phone, pick list, multi-select combo box, even Skype fields you can add. And you want to have maybe a text field, then you have here this one, and we want to have interests and save it. So, and when I go to the leads, then you have the interests here. Credits. Okay, credits are in this case all the things about this accounting stuff. And I think, yeah, what you can have is maybe you can have an credits, and you have sending out a quote, and this quote is the invoice, and the invoice is wrong. Then you can credit this invoice as well. So that's the thing. But we thinking that it's most in the SMBs. Adam, do you want to demute your mic?
Hey, sorry about that. What's the deal with the credits? Is that like, like I could add credit to somebody's account, like a retainer or something? Like they paid me already? Like what is credits? I see that in a dollar sign right next to it.
Yeah, in this case, when you have not on the quote, sorry, I have to go for the invoice. And when you have sent out an invoice and the invoice is paid and is wrong, then you have to credit this invoice.
Oh, okay.
You have to cancel this invoice. And if you cancel this invoice, then you can go and do a credit from the invoice to your client, to your customer, sorry.
Gotcha. Now I understand that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the thing about this one. But I think the whole accounting stuff is not that thing what the most of the SMBs will using. They're using their already established accounting what they have. Mostly they have this accounting first because otherwise they cannot go for business.
So, Martin, I hate to interrupt. So we're running around the 33-minute mark in your little demo video for our friends here. Can we go over two last things? The email integration.
Yes.
To first start, and then we'll go on to one last thing.
Yeah, and the thing is, we have right now it's all integrated in Email Manager where you can set up your own IMAP account like Gmail or whatever. And this one is automatically go to your IMAP account, will see if the email address of a certain email is already in the CRM, and give you the opportunity to import this email in the CRM to this certain contact or account or wherever. So you have all the emails already up and running. And what we also have done in this email integration is then you can set up your own SMTP server for sending out the emails directly off the leads. What you see as you can see before, when we can send out a quote maybe to a customer, here you can send out an email as well. It's coming complete out of the CRM, and when you do this email, then you can use some pre-built email templates with placeholders, with attachments, and can send it as a normal email, but you have it immediately in the history of your CRM as well. And the next and the third or the fourth of the possibilities for doing is we have a mail scanner. A mail scanner can do automatically go for a certain account and do and have some rules for doing something. Maybe he will attach it automatically, or we can go for maybe a support at email and do automatically tickets out of every email come in. And the last integration, what I can mention, is that we have a complete integration into Office 365 or Microsoft Exchange. And in this integration, you can use it for emails, for calendar, for tasks, and for contacts. Okay? So good for now?
Did you, Martin, did you go over opportunities?
We have opportunities before. Yeah, that's very important in the sales process. I have already shown.
Okay.
I have a question. Can you show the client backend portal next?
The client backend portal. You mean the customer portal?
Yeah.
I have to set up first. Maybe I show you what possibilities you have with this customer portal. Then maybe it's very good at foreseeing it. In this case, you can configure what the customer portal you want to have and serve it for your customers. I'm blind where I see this.
Right under inventory.
I don't see it right now. Sorry. So in this case, the customer portal, what you see is you can have in the customer portal for your customers, you can have some of these modules. You can have the informations about their own accounts, informations about their own contacts. You can have and have access to their documents, their quotes, their invoices. And what they also have, they have the FAQ section, and they can even create tickets right out of the customer portal.
That's fantastic. Martin, can we finish up by telling users what they should do upon using a CRM for the first time? So they just subscribed for the 30-day trial. What should they do first, immediately? What's the first thing that they should do?
The first thing they should do is maybe to open up the email manager and configure the IMAP, what you already have, to get and figure out how it works to sending out emails and getting emails. And the next thing is to import some of the data. And when you go maybe for leads and you want to import, then you can go for this import visit and add your own contacts maybe, and can play around with the documents if the files are already there, if they need some new columns or new fields in the CRM.
So in regards to data storage, if we go back to that settings tab, I saw FTP export for backups.
Yeah.
We have an option as a user to choose our own FTP server to do backups, so you don't lock us down to just your service.
Yes. In this case,
that's really great, because I've never seen that, and that was one of the biggest things that stopped me as a CRM user and business owner, that I can't put my data on my own secure server. Like,
yeah.
I want to. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
In this case, you can set up your backup. I think it's when you have a disaster recovery or whatever, and you want to have that you have your data always on your side daily, actually. Yeah? In this case, these FTP, when you set up here, you get in this case, hopefully the SFTP for sure. But in this case, you can have your own data and your documents were stored once a day on this on your server.
That's fantastic. Do we have any finishing comments to share to users about who are interested or interested in using our CRM, compared to other CRMs? Do you have anything to say that really differentiates us?
The most differential what you have right now, it's a complete comprehensive solution. You can use it for this needs what you already there, or what you already have, but you can even grow with the CRM, and you don't have to change it, because in this case you have maybe later the requirements for setting up something like a customer portal, or setting up something like tickets, or you want to even go for accounting, or you want to have the project management. Then you only have to go for and activate your module, and you don't have to change the system, to change the CRM anymore. And that's very, very important. Then you can go for, because I always say when you're using the system, when you haven't used it, then you get more ideas for what you can use it as well. And don't forget, you can even report out of these things everything what you have in. And the last thing I want to show you before we can close is the reports. And we have in the reports one special thing that I maybe in other systems you don't see. We have built up a report set. So you can have your own set of reports combined with charts, combined with all the things, and you can export not only to PDF, you can export as a PPTX as well. And if you want to set up a schedule for automatically sending these special reports, you can do this as well.
Well, that's fantastic. I think we gave more than enough information to our viewers to make a decision if they want to subscribe for a free trial and see where it goes from there. I think we're good right here right now, Martin. I think we're good on the small little demo and ready to launch this bad boy.